Hello, I am Babav Kumar from GIS Tokyo. A very warm welcome to everyone. We hope that you will have a wonderful experience with us today as we take a step closer to actualize the SPIC MACAY's vision of reaching out to every child with the mysticism embodied in Indian and world heritage. We would like to thank our sponsors, GIS Institute, for supporting us. The SPIC MACAY Global Heritage Series is an attempt to bring together the youth from different parts of the globe, expose them to the beautiful heritage that they possess, and motivate them to preserve the Indian and the world heritage. Our volunteers from SPIC MACAY Singapore, Japan, Korea, and Australia present their small token today. Now I take the opportunity to introduce you to the course of the program for today. Today is the second and final day of the Global Heritage Series. Yesterday, we witnessed two captivating performances by two living legends, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia and Ustad Wasifuddin Dagarji, which was followed by a lively interaction session between the students, audience, volunteers, and the artists. Similarly, today we look forward to two other great performances. Our first performance is by the great Odishi dancer Matavi Mudgalji, beginning at 12 p.m. IST and 5:30 AEDT. The second performance is by the god of Ghatam, Vidwan Viku Vanyakram at 1 p.m. IST and 6:30 p.m. AEDT. We would also be taking questions from the audience, so I request you to share your questions in the chat box. I now invite our chief guest, the Foreign Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Honorable Harsh Vardhan Srinagal. In the course of a diplomatic career spanning over 36 years, Foreign Secretary Harsh Vardhan Srinagal has held a variety of positions in New Delhi and abroad. He has served as India's ambassador to the United States of America and the Kingdom of Thailand and as High Commissioner to Bangladesh. He has also served in other diplomatic assignments in France, UNESCO Paris, USA, the United Nations New York, Vietnam, Israel, and South Africa. I request him to speak a few words of encouragement.
Namaskar. At the outset, I would like to thank Srimati Kunda Mahurkar, National Chairperson, SPIC MACAY, for inviting me to speak as chief guest at the Global Heritage Series on the essence of spreading Indian and world heritage. I also wish to convey my greetings to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji, Srimati Madhavi Mudgalji, Vidwan T.H. Vikhu Vinayak Ramji, and Ustad Wasifuddin Dagarji, who are gracing the series with their presence and performances. It is a privilege to be part of the program. My greetings also to the students and youth from all over the globe, including Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, Japan, and South Korea, who are virtually connected with us via this heritage series. SPIC MACAY's instrumental role in nurturing and promoting Indian heritage through classical music, art, literature, etc. is well recognized. SPIC MACAY's outreach to institutions and youth of all backgrounds globally and its ethos of promoting Indian culture and art through volunteerism are commendable. I must congratulate the leadership and express heartfelt appreciation for the many stellar artists who make it all possible. As we start to recover from the grasp of COVID 19, we look back to find that in times of crisis, people need nurturing of the soul. We are reminded of the important role of art in giving people hope. The disruption caused by the pandemic has driven many of us to reimagine art and art forms. Taking art online has become a necessity. As our Prime Minister stated during SPIC MACAY's international convention earlier this year, the fusion of ancient art and music with technology is a demand of the times. Indian culture and art are integral to India's soft power. Artists dedicated to Indian art forms are not merely performers, but brand ambassadors who've been taking our rich cultural heritage to the global audience. At a personal level, I recall as a student in Delhi University the privilege of getting access to our best classical artists free of cost in open air concerts of SPIC MACAY. It has been both a privilege and pleasure to have hosted some of our most distinguished artists in various diplomatic missions where I have served. As I speak before you today, I wish to reaffirm the support of the Ministry of External Affairs and our missions abroad to your efforts to showcase our classical art forms globally. I believe there are many areas of convergence and collaboration between SPIC MACAY and our very own Indian Council for Cultural Relations to try and bridge the gap between the classical and the popular. Tradition must coexist with modernity. I'm aware that systems alone cannot foster creativity. Even so, our constant endeavor must be to act as enablers of the youth, many of whom have tuned in today. Even in the day of YouTube and Instagram, where attention spans grow shorter by the day, I am proud to say that Indian classical music and culture find their rightful place in the young minds and hearts. Our global young audience at this platform today is a testament to that fact. Events like these provide a good opportunity for us to showcase the potential of music and dance, to heal and to connect at a deeper and wider level. The Prime Minister had mentioned at the SPIC MACAY International Convention that, rising above the boundaries of states and languages, today music is also strengthening the ideal of Ek Bharat, Shreshta Bharat. And it is indeed inspiring to see SPIC MACAY tune up to the needs of the times and continue its melodious outreach through innovative platforms such as the Global Heritage Series. I thank you. Namaste.
Hello everyone, I am Riya Deshpande of GIS Tokyo. Thank you Harshji for those encouraging words. I now invite our special guest, High Commission of India to Australia, Mr. Gitesh Sharma. He joined the Indian Foreign Service in 1986 and worked in the Ministry of External Affairs as Under Secretary and Director. Mr. Sharma's overseas assignments include Indian missions in Russia, Ukraine, Hong Kong, Pakistan, and the United Kingdom. He has been Ambassador of India to Uzbekistan and High Commissioner of India in Fiji. Please enlighten us with a few words.
I'm absolutely delighted to hear about SPEC MACAY's brilliant initiative to put this program together, which showcases some of the living legends, some of the greatest musical talent from India to grace the world of culture. The greats of the past, of yesteryears, they will live on forever through their music and their great and wonderful contribution to India's cultural ethos. At the same time, when the older generation cherishes their contributions, it is very important that the younger generation should also be exposed to such legends. So it is only because of the efforts of such organizations as SPIC MACAY that this is possible. This is a time of COVID-19, and many of our cultural engagement, which we are so comfortable and familiar with, has been set aside. I'm very, very happy that again this is a kind of renewal of our cultural life, and the fact that Indian classical heritage is being put in this manner and presented, that is very, very commendable. I have the great joy in conveying my appreciation to SPIC MACAY and to all those who have contributed to making this program and presenting it in this manner. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Giteshi, for your wise word. Before we begin the program, I once again take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, GIS Group of Institute, for supporting us in every way possible. Honorable Sri Vardhan Srinagal, Foreign Secretary, Ambassador Jitesh Sharma, the founder, Dr. Kiran Seth, a member of any team, especially National Chairperson, Ms. Kunda Mahurkar, Ms. Rashmi Malik, Mr. Pankaj Malhotra, Ms. Saraswati Subbu, and the National IT and Design team for guiding the APEC chapter in organizing the first ever APEC event. Last but not the least, our volunteers from SPIC MACAY Japan, Singapore, Korea, and Australia for putting this entire program together. We hope SPIC MACAY can actualize its vision and our efforts multiply through the volunteer strength in the coming time. I would now like to hand over the program proceeding to Abha. Abha, over to you.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Abha Gokhale from Global Indian International School, Smart Campus, Singapore, and I welcome you to this segment of the Global Heritage Series organized by SPIC MACAY and sponsored by Global Schools Foundation. Gracing us with her presence today is one of Odishi's most esteemed performers, Padma Shri awardee Vidushi Matavi Mudgalji. Matavi ji is a revered Odishi dancer, teacher, and choreographer who is known for her sculpturesque poses, strong footwork, and mesmerizing abhinaya or expressions. Born to a highly respected family of artists, classical music and dance have always been dominant influences in her life. Her father, the late Professor Vinay Chandra Mudgalji, founded the Gandharva Mahavidyalaya in New Delhi, one of India's most prestigious institutions for Hindustani classical music and dance. Madhavi ji initially trained under Guru Hari Krishna Bahera and later under legendary Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra. Her stunning performances and matchless grace has won her not only international acclaim as a dancer, but has also helped popularize Odissi among a global audience on the international stage. She has been awarded the Padma Shri, the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and the Sanskriti Award for her invaluable contribution to Indian classical dancing. It is an honor to have Vidushi Madhavi Mudgalji here with us today. We invite her to address the audience and to enrich our knowledge about Odissi.
Thank you, Abha. I'm delighted to be here with all the students of Australia and so many countries, Southeast Asia, Singapore, and to have this opportunity of introducing one of our classical dance styles. As has already been said, I do what we call Odissi. That obviously the name suggests this dance comes from Odisha. As you all know, it's the southeastern part of India. And Odissi, if I had to really say something in short, is a very sculpturous dance form because the basic body positions of Odissi follow sculpturous figures. And you would notice that when Odissi is done, it almost feels like moving sculpture. So without much ado, because we have already lost some time, I'll start straight away with the first piece, which is called Nataraj. As you all know, Nataraj is another name for Shiva. Shiva in his dancing form. He's the Lord of Dance. And all the dancers seek blessings from him. This song, written by Dr. Mayadhar Mansi, where the dancer devotee seeks blessings of Lord Nataraj for her limbs to be as fluid as a dancing peacock, and so on. So we play the first piece, please, Tapasya. Nataraj. There's no sound. Yeah. Well, that was a kind of an invocation. Um, it was an invocation, but not in the traditional mold as we do a Mangalacharan, which is always the first item of an Odissi repertoire. As we all know that all the classical dance styles have their a series of items that are presented in a particular order. So the first piece is like a devotional number. And also the fact that all the dance styles have two important aspects. One, where only pure abstract movements are performed to rhythmic variations, to musical variations. There's no storytelling in it. There is no abhinaya in it. And I would like to present one such piece, and we call it Pallavi in Odissi. So can we play the Pallavi, please? video now, student? Okay. I'm cutting the pieces because the time is a little short. So as I explained to you, there are two clear aspects of Indian classical dance. One, what we call nritta, which is pure dance, rhythmic, as you saw just now, um, visualizing musical patterns and rhythmic patterns and enunciating it with our footwork. The other aspect is where we use facial expressions and hand gestures to convey the intent of the poet, the meaning of the song. But it's not literal meaning. It is, we use all kinds of suggestions, alliterations, and it's always stylized, and we communicate the essence of the poem. The next piece that I want to share with you is called Vasanth. You're all aware that in India we have 6 seasons, and Vasanth is called Rituraj, the king of all seasons. And this is a piece from Mahakavi Kalidasa, from his Ritu Samhar, his first piece that he wrote. I'm sure you're aware of our Sanskrit poet. This is at least 1500 years ago that he wrote, around 6th century. And it speaks about spring. And without much explanation, I would like you to see it. And then we could discuss it when we talk. Could you please play, Tapasya? Well, that was Vasanth, as you could see, the koels and the humming bees and lovelorn maidens. Vasanth is also considered to be a friend of Shringar. I mean, Shringara Rasa is most predominant in this season. Now I come to an extension of Odishi. now I teach young people like you, and a lot of them show promise, and sometimes, more than one body makes some very interesting possibilities that I just want to show you a glimpse of. So this is Rangastuti that we start with. This is an invocation from taken from the 12th century text Abhinaya Darpan. Some people say it's written in the 16th century, and it's invoking the sacred space of stage, because for us dancers, the stage itself is our temple. So Rangastuti, please, Tapasya. So you saw a glimpse of what is possible with a group composition. Just another piece that I have done called Pallavan, which utilizes all the basic tenets of our pure dance, Nritta. You know how the body formation, then you introduce laya, a constant speed, Then you bring in the concept of tal and jati. These are concepts that come with the tala structure. We don't have much time to explain that, but you will feel it from the piece. So Pallavan, please. Okay, Tapasya, we could probably stop it here because we have now just 15 minutes for our discussion. So I don't want to carry this on. I just wanted to say that music is a very important part of dance. In fact, in our Shastra, we say Sangeet and we mean dance, music, both vocal and instrumental. So it's such a composite art. The music for the first piece, Nataraj, was done by Maheshwar Rao, and the music for all the other pieces has been done by my brother, Madhu Mudgal, who's a classical vocalist. So now, Tapasya, can we open it to students?
Thank you, ma'am, for your impressive exposition of Odishi and the intricacies of this beautiful ancient dance form. We will now have a brief interactive session with the students from GIIS Smart Campus Singapore. We also have students from Australia attending the program and participating in the interaction. We have Sanchari Das asking the first question. Over to you, Sanchari.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Sanchari Das, and I've been learning Odishi for about 9 years now. So it is a great honor for me to be talking to you here. Ma'am, I know that you have been trained in three major classes, Kathak, Bharatanatyam, and Odishi, which is absolutely amazing. So I was curious to know, was it difficult for you when you switch from one dance form to another? Or was it actually an advantage for you in terms of your expressions and your movements? And ma'am, my second question is, since you nuances of each dance form and you've learned each of these beautiful dance forms, how did you choose Odishi as your main art or rather your passion?
Yeah, well, I was very fortunate to be born in such an atmosphere that there was music and dance all around me. And when I started learning as a child, it was more like a play. I used to just go into the class. At that time, there was no Odishi. In fact, as you know, that Odishi's revival was quite late, late 50s, early 60s. And I learned basically Bharatanatyam. I never performed Bharatanatyam, only on school for annual functions, etc. But Kathak, I did quite a lot. In fact, I was performing professionally also. But learning the three different styles, now the question is whether it was difficult. I actually never felt learning the other styles, any difficulty in learning. But I had to decide, because I knew to go deep into any art form, you have to stick to one form. So then I chose Odishi, and therefore comes as your second question. I chose Odishi for its lyricism, for its beautiful body positions, for it was something that suited my personality, I thought, because it's very subtle, it's very underplayed, and although things just seem to change now, but that's what attracted me to Odishi, and I started learning Odishi. Learning of each style gave me an insight into the other form. So when I did Odishi, my base in Bharatanatyam and Kathak was a big help, and I'm able to do what I am because of this learning. But I think finally you have to stick to one style to pursue it further.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Now we have Vedika from class 5 asking you a question. Over to you, Vedika.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Vedika Bodhankar. I study at Global Indian International School. I am in class PYP 5A. I'm very fond of dancing and have been learning Odishi for the past 2 years now. Ma'am, this is my question for you. Ma'am, I learned that you trained under the Guru Shishya Parampara. Can you share with us what it was like to train under one Guru all the time? Didn't you miss your family when you stayed away for such a long period?
Well, yes, I did learn under Guru Shishya Parampara. I used to go to Cuttack to my Guruji and stay with him. But it was not as though I was completely cut off with my family. And I used to go for 2-3 months, and he would come to Delhi and stay with us for 2-3 months. So it was not as it was in, very early. It is earlier the student Vidyarthi will go and live with the gurus. The gurus had the possibility of feeding the child because the gurus were looked after by the kings or by the zamindars, and they really uh, gave a lot of value to the arts. So they were uh, nurtured by these noble people, and the students would live, work for the guru, live in the household, and learn a lot, not just by actual learning, but also through osmosis. So that was the essence of Guru Shishya Parampara. In today's modern times, that seems to be not possible. First of all, there is nobody to support the gurus. There is nobody to, give scholarship to young people. There are a few scholarships, but hardly enough for everybody to be able to learn and to be with a guru. The guru can't offer 10 students living in his house, and he can't ask the students to give me bartan and wash my utensils or wash my clothes, which earlier people did without even questioning. That time is past. But what I do in this day and age, I have an institute where students come and learn, but the relationship is very much similar to what was in Guru Shishya Parampara. In fact, it's freer because the students are free to talk to me in a different way. They can ask me questions which we didn't ask our gurus. So the times have changed, and the Guru Shishya Parampara has also molded itself to the present times. So is that clear, Veena? Vedika, sorry, Vedika. Huh.
Thank you.
What
The
have
next,
you? Yes, okay. I wanted to ask you what have you learned in Odissi?
ma'am, I learned the dance Manglacharan Battu.
Okay, very good. And whom do you learn with?
Ma'am, Guru Shabandi ji.
Okay, very good.
Yes,
So I'm glad in Singapore you're learning. That's wonderful. Okay.
yes. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is Arufi. Over to Arufi.
Namaste, Madhvi ji. Good
Namaste.
afternoon, ma'am. I'm
Yes.
Aditi Tamanikar and I study at Global Indian International School, Smart Campus, Singapore. I've been learning Bharatanatyam from the past 12 years and it's an honor to be with you here today. Many non-resident Indian children who have grown up outside India might be inclined towards learning to Western forms of music and dance. Though it is true that art forms have no boundaries, we as children find it difficult to balance the traditional thinking of family and the cultural influences of the country which we reside in. What can be done to tackle this issue, and how can we stick to our Indian cultural roots as well as adapt ourselves to new cultures of the country we live in?
Well, if you live in another country, you should absorb their culture. And what do you think in India? What is happening? Even in India, we are no more like we used to be. You are absorbing so many cultures. It's become a global village, the whole world. You absorb, our kids also absorb many Western influences. So it's interesting that you have the opportunity to learn about another culture. And somehow I have realized in my travels, when I've traveled all over the world and seen, at least in some countries, there's a lot of Indian dance being taught. And somehow those students are far more sincere because it's a rarity for them. There are fewer gurus. In India, sometimes students take it for granted that, it's there, we can go and learn anytime. But, they do it with great difficulty in America and all. They would, the parents take them over the weekends, traveling hundreds of miles to teach their children. Singapore, I've been, and there's so many dance schools for Bharatanatyam, Odishi, Kathak, and you're really lucky to have the opportunity of having two cultures, imbibing two cultures. So in India also, kids have that problem of facing the onslaught of globalization, if I may put it that way. So you can absorb the culture, and yet, because how are we recognized all over the world? We are recognized for our culture. We are recognized for the values we give to the whole world. So I think if you absorb the culture you live in and promoted your own culture or reflected in your personality, your own culture, it'll make you a richer person and far more respected by them, I think. So, do I answer your question, Aarti?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madhviji. The next question is from Tejaswini from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, ma'am. My
Hello.
name is Tejaswini and I'm in year 9 at Blacktown Girls High School in Australia. Ma'am, we
Lovely.
all know you are a fabulous dancer, and I have a great passion for dance as well. I have been learning Bharatanatyam for over 13 years now. But, ma'am, are
Oh.
dancers born or made? And what are the requirements for becoming a great dancer like you?
Sincerity uh, towards your art form, sincerity towards your guru, your teacher, uh, a full faith in your teacher, and of course, learning about our culture, learning about our mythology, and putting in a lot of effort, because our classical dances, as you know, take so many years. As you look so young and you already dance for 13 years. You will mature as a dancer. It doesn't happen overnight. So I think you're right on the right path, that you have learned for so many years and still continuing to learn in an alien cultural milieu. And you're lucky to have parents who give you that possibility of learning, and to have the guru also in another culture. Tejaswini?
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is from Abba.
Mm-hmm.
Madhavi, you had mentioned in a previous interview that Odishi has
Yes.
changed since you had helped to repopularize it back in the 1900s. How do you think it has changed and how do you feel about it? And how do you
I
think
can't hear you.
it will evolve? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, little better, yes.
Ma'am, you had mentioned
Yes.
in a previous interview that Odishi has changed since you had helped to repopularize it back in the 1900s. How has it changed and
Yeah.
how do you feel about
Oh,
it? Yeah, and how do you think Odishi
okay.
will evolve in the future?
Well, I showed you a glimpse of how it is, I mean, the possibility of doing it in the way that I am doing with my students in group choreography. But if you think of 1900s, initially, Odissi was only revived after the 50s. We came to know about it. Historically speaking, early 20th century, there was hardly any Odissi as Odissi. In fact, the name Odissi was also given later in the 50s. It was practiced by what we call the Gotipur dancers. Gotipur dancers they still exist in many villages in Orissa. Little boys who dress up as girls and dance. So there are hordes of them as hordes of these groups in different parts of Odisha. And it was also dance in the temples by Devadasis, we call them Maharis. But the tradition had stopped around the 16th century the Gotipur started in the 16th century, and Mahari tradition almost stopped at the beginning of the 20th century. In the 50s, it completely stopped. So it was difficult to see what it was. We say that Odissi, according to archaeological evidence, according to textual evidence, can date back 2000 years ago. But it was revived by scholars, great gurus, and many intellectuals of Odisha. They culled different elements from sculpture, from the living tradition of Maharis, the Devadasis, and Gotipurs, and made Odissi what it is as you see it today. But it is not exactly the way any art form always continues to evolve. If it became static, it would be boring and people won't relate to it. So it keeps on changing with the times, and but the basic tenets and the basic truths of that art form always remain. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
With this, we come to the end of this segment of the program. We extend our heartfelt thanks to Vidushi Matavi Mudgalji for her participation. We also thank SPIC MACAY and the sponsors of the series, Global Schools Foundation. Global Schools Foundation have played their role in popularizing Indian classical arts both in India and abroad, specifically through the activities of the Global Indian Cultural Centers, as well as in general through activities and programs in school. And SPIC MACAY is a group that works very enthusiastically to promote Indian traditional arts internationally. It is a privilege to be a part of this series, and we thank everyone for their participation.
Thank you, Abha. It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Haripriya Srinivasan from Global Indian International School, Smart Campus, Singapore. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to yet another edition of SPIC MACAY's Global Heritage Series. Today, it's an honor and privilege to invite Grammy and Padma Bhushan awardee Vidwan Vikku Vinayakram, an internationally renowned Ghattam artist, whose fame has reached such heights that he has come to be known as the God of Ghattam. எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் ஹரிப்ரியா ஸ்ரீனிவாசன். நான் குளோபல் இந்தியன் இன்டர்நேஷனல் ஸ்கூலில் பயிலும் மாணவி. இன்று உங்கள் அனைவரையும் ஸ்பிக் மக்கேயின் குளோபல் ஹெரிட்டேஜ் சீரீஸ்க்கு வரவேற்பதில் நான் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். கிராமி மற்றும் பத்மபூஷன் விருதை பெற்று இந்த உலக கட்டம் என்னும் வாதத்தை உலகளவில் பிரபலப்படுத்திய வித்வான் விக்கு விநாயகராம் அவர்களை வரவேற்பதில் நான் மட்டற்ற மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். இன்று என்னோடு சேர்ந்து நிகழ்ச்சியை தொகுப்பது எனது சக மாணவி சந்தியா. Joining me in hosting the program is my fellow student and friend Sandhya. Over to you, Sandhya, to share more about the achievements of Vidwan Vikku Vinayakram, sir.
Born in Tiruchi into a family of musicians, Tetakudi Harihara Vinayakram, fondly addressed as Vikku Vinayakram, started his Carnatic journey at the age of 13. He has the distinction of working with not just artists from India, but also from other countries, and this novel quality of his art and his flexibility as a performer have seen the world experience a unique fusion of Carnatic and Western music. In the band Shakti, he played along with violinist L. Shankar, Ustad Zakir Hussain, and John McLaughlin, the three creating a harmony that was divine. He has been honored with many accolades, notably Padma Shri by the Government of India, Sangeet Natak Academy Fellowship, Padma Bhushan, and Bharat Ratna Dr. M.S. Subbulakshmi Centenary Award. Not to mention the much coveted Grammy Award too, which is one of the highest awards accorded in the West to prominent artists in the music industry. A huge thanks to SPIC MACAY for making it possible today to interact with such a living legend. We would also like to invite our friends from Hillcrest Christian College in Australia. It is heartening to have them join us for this interaction with such a great artist.
Namaskaram, sir. சார், என் பேர் ஹரிப்ரியா ஸ்ரீனிவாசன். நான் பூஜி ஸ்ரீனிவாச ஐயங்கார் அவரோட பரம்பரையில சேர்ந்திருக்கேன் சார்.
அப்படியா?
நான் ஒரு 8 வருஷமா இங்க சிங்கப்பூர்ல மிருதங்கம் கத்துட்டு இருக்கேன் சார். சிங்கப்பூர்ல டெம்பிள் ஆஃப் ஃபைன் ஆர்ட்ஸ்ல ட்ரிவாண்ட்ரம் ஸ்ரீ டி ராஜகோபால் அவர்கள்கிட்ட கத்துட்டு இருக்கேன். இப்போ கல்லூரிக்குச்சி ஸ்ரீ எஸ் சிவகுமார் அவர்கிட்ட கத்துட்டு இருக்கேன் சார். நான் மிருதம் கத்துக்க ஆரம்பிச்சதுல இருந்தே உங்க கச்சேரிகள் நான் நிறைய கேட்டிருக்கேன் சார். நீங்க வாசிச்ச கச்சேரி கேட்டிருக்கேன். எனக்கு உங்க ஒவ்வொரு கச்சேரியும் வந்து வித்தியாசமா இருக்குன்னா கேட்க அவ்வளவு அழகா இருக்கும் சார். இன்னைக்கு கட்டம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு வாத்தியம் வந்து உலக அளவுல பிரபலம் ஆயிருக்குன்னா அது காரணம் நீங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னா மிகையாகாது சார். உங்களை பார்த்து பேசுதுன்றது எனக்கு ஒரு ரொம்ப பெரிய பாக்கியம் சார்.
எனக்கும் மகிழ்ச்சி.
நன்றி சார். We request the maestro to address the audience and to perform for the audience that is so eagerly waiting to hear him play the ghattam. சார், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை பார்த்து கொண்டிருப்பவர்கள் அவர்களுக்காக ஒரு ஓரிரு வார்த்தைகள் நீங்க பேசுமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன் சார். அப்படியே நீங்க கடம் வாசித்து நாங்க கேட்க வந்து எல்லாருமே ஆவலா காத்துட்டு இருக்கோம் சார். அதனால எங்களுக்காக கொஞ்ச நேரம் கடம் வாசிக்கலாம்.
தேங்க்ஸ் டு ஸ்பிக் மேக்கே. அது வந்து நிறைய ப்ரமோட் பண்ணி எல்லா யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் அந்த இவருக்கெல்லாம் பண்ணியிருக்கா. அதை பார்க்க எனக்கு ரொம்ப மகிழ்ச்சியாக இருக்குது.
நன்றி சார். சார், எங்களுக்காக நீங்க கொஞ்சம் கட்டம் வாசிக்கிறீங்களா? அதை கேட்க நாங்க எல்லாருமே ஆவலா காத்துட்டு இருக்கோம். நன்றி சார்.
Mohit, we'll start with the performance of Vikuji now. Thank you.
Siva 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 Ennaadu Daya Periyava Potri Ennaadu Varkum Iraiva Potri Sarvagnya Sarvavyapi Periyava Sharanam Mayappirapparukkum Mahaperiyava Adi Potri Mayappirapparukkum Mahaperiyava Adi Potri Mayappirapparukkum Mahaperiyava Adi Potri. தா நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம். எமக்கு நிச்சயம் நீ அருள வேண்டும் நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம். பாவங்களை மன்னித்திட எமக்கு நிச்சயம் நீ அருள வேண்டும் நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம். அறிந்து அறியாமலும் தெரிந்து தெரியாமலும் செய்த சகல குற்றங்களை பாவங்களை மன்னித்திட எமக்கு நிச்சயம் நீ அருள வேண்டும் நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம். தக்கிட்ட தக்கதாம் கதாம் திக்கிட்ட தக்கதாம் கதாம் தக்கிட்ட திக்கிட்ட தத்தா கிணத்து தின் திங் கிணத்து தந்தாம் தின் திங் தும் தும் தக்கிட்ட திந்த திந்தா தக்கிட்ட திந்தா தக்கிட்ட தக்கிட்ட தா ததிங்கிணத்து தா தக்கதா தக்கதா தக்கதா. அறிந்து அறியாமலும் தெரிந்து தெரியாமலும் செய்த சகல குற்றங்களை பாவங்களை மன்னித்திட எமக்கு நிச்சயம் நீ அருள வேண்டும் நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம். அறிந்து அறியாமலும் தெரிந்து தெரியாமலும் செய்த சகல குற்றங்களை பாவங்களை மன்னித்திட எமக்கு நிச்சயம் நீ அருள வேண்டும் நூறு கண்ட ஸ்ரீ மகா பெரியவா சரணம் சரணம் சரணம்.
மாதரும் ஒன் பொருளும் நீ ஒரு குலமும் சுற்றமும் ஓரூரும் நீ துய் பணமும் தோற்றுவாய் நீ துணையா என் நெஞ்சம் துரப்பிவாய் நீ இப்பொன்னி இம்மன்னி இம்முத்தும் நீ இறைவன் நீ ஏறுந்த செல்வனும் நீயே ஏறுந்த செல்வனும் நீயே ஏறுந்த செல்வனும் நீயே தத்தி தக்கறதும் 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 ஞாயிறு திங்கள் செவ்வாய் புதன்கள் வெள்ளி சனி பாம்பு ராகு கேது போற்றி ராகு கேது போற்றி ராகு கேது போற்றி ஞாயிறு திங்கள் செவ்வாய் புதன்கள் வெள்ளி சனி பாம்பு ராகு கேது போற்றி ராகு கேது போற்றி ராகு கேது போற்றி குருவாய் தந்தைக தோழன வழிகாட்டியை நான் வணங்கும் மகானே துணை நான் வணங்கும் மகானே துணை நான் வணங்கும் மகானே துணை நான் வணங்கும் மகானே துணை. பாத்திய கலைய கற்று உணர எளியபடி தேடி அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. பாத்திய கலைய கற்று உணர எளியபடி தேடி அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. அச்சேத்திய குருவே துணை. எங்கும் எதிலும் துணையாய் நின்றிடல் வேண்டும் ஸ்ரீ 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 காஞ்சி மகா பெரியவா சரணம் 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 சரணம். எங்கும் எதிலும் துணையாய் நின்றிடல் வேண்டும் ஸ்ரீ 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 காஞ்சி மகா பெரியவா சரணம் 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 சரணம். பிரதோஷ தினத்தில் தரிசனம் செய்து பக்தியில் மீளா அடிமையாய் விளங்கிய பிரதோஷ தினத்தில் தரிசனம் செய்து பக்தியில் மீளா அடிமையாய் விளங்கிய 64வது நாயன் இவர்தான் என ஸ்ரீ 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 காஞ்சி மகா பெரியவா வாக்கினால் அருள் பெற்ற பிரதோஷ சிவ மீளா அடிமைக்குள் பாதம் திருவடி சரணம் சா. திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் சா. திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் சா. நதி சக்கரம் 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 ஈஸ்வரர் பெரியவா எனும் பக்தியை எங்கும் பெருகிட பிரதோஷ பெரியவா. பூசலா என்னும் நாயன்மார் போல் வந்து உதித்த என் குருவே. ஓரிகையில் உன் தெய்வத்திற்கு கோயில் அமைத்த புண்ணியரே. உத்தமராம் உன் தெய்வத்துடன் கோயிலில் உமை காண அருள் வீரே. ஈஸ்வரர் தான் பெரியவா எனும் பக்தியை எங்கும் பெருகிட பிரதோஷ பெரியவா. பூசலா என்னும் நாயன்மார் போல் வந்து உதித்த என் குருவே. ஒரு கையில் உன் தெய்வத்திற்கு கோயில் அமைத்த புண்ணியரே. உத்தமராம் உன் தெய்வத்துடன் கோயிலும் காண அருள் வீரே. புண்ணிய உன் பாதம் திருவடி சரணம் தா. திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் தா. திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் திருவடி சரணம் தாம். கத்தி கிட்ட தருகிறதும் கத்தி கிட்ட தருகிறதும் கத்தி கிட்ட தருகிறதும் தாம். ரத்தி கிட்ட தருகிறதும்
What a breathtaking performance! The rhythms and resonance of the guttum thrill and delight the listeners. ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது சார். இந்த எல்லா வாத்தியங்களோட அந்த நாதம், தாளம், நட இது எல்லாமே கேட்கிறவால அவ்வளோ சந்தோஷப்படுத்துது சார். எங்களுக்கு வாசித்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி சார். We shall now have a brief interactive session. Over to you, Pranav, to begin with the first question. The next question is by Pranav Swaminathan from Global Indian International School.
நமஸ்காரம் சார். என் பேர் பிரணவ் சுவாமிநாதன். நான் ஒரு 10 வருஷமா ஸ்ரீ வி ரகுராமன் சார் கிட்ட இருந்து சிங்கப்பூர்ல மிருதங்கம் கற்றுன்னு வந்திருக்கேன். ஹரிப்ரியா சொன்ன மாதிரியே உங்களோட சந்தித்து பேச இந்த வாய்ப்பை பெரிய பாக்கியமா நினைச்சுக்கிறேன். எல்லாரும் போலவே நானும் உங்களோட பரம ரசிகன். நேத்துக்கு வாத்தியார் கிட்ட உங்களோட பேச போறேன்னு சொன்னேன். அவரு டக்குன்னு இந்த புத்தகத்தை காமிச்சு இது மிருதங்கத்துக்கு ஒரு முக்கியமான புத்தகம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாரு. மிருதங்க பாட்ட போதினி, உங்கள் குரு ஸ்ரீ ஹரிஹர சர்மா சாரோட புத்தகம். இந்த புத்தகத்துல இருந்து ஏதாவது சுவாரஸ்யமான விஷயம் சொல்றீங்களா?
இந்த புத்தகம் எங்கள் அப்பா போட்டது. அப்போ நான் கூட ஹெல்ப்பாக உதவியாக இருந்தேன். அப்போ அந்த காலத்தில் வாசிந்த கோர்வை இதெல்லாம் அவர்கிட்ட சொல்லுவேன். அதை பண்ணி எழுதி அதை புஸ்தகமாக போட்டிருக்கார். அது பெரிய சமாச்சாரம். இந்த புஸ்தகத்தை வச்சுட்டா ஒருத்தர் படித்தா தானாகவே கச்சேரி வாசிக்கலாம். அந்த லெவலுக்கு பண்ணியிருக்காரு. அது அவருக்கு தான் நான் பெரிய நன்றி. அதில் அவர் 7 சொற்கள் 7 ஸ்தானம்தான் கண்டுபிடிச்சார். அதனால தான் இந்த புத்தகம் போட்டது. சாதாரணமாக சாரி கம பாதா நீ அதை சொல்கிறோம் 7. அதே மாதிரி தா தி தொம் நம் சா தின்டா இந்த 7 சொல்ல வச்சு இதில் தான் எல்லாம் அடங்கியிருக்குன்னு இதை பாலக்காட் மணியர் சர்டிஃபிகேட் கொடுத்து எல்லாம் பண்ணி, ஏன்னா பலவிதமாக பலவித பாடங்கள்லாம் வரலாம், ஆனால் இந்த 7 சொல்லுக்குள்ளே தான் இது அடங்கியிருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறத சொன்னார். இதில் ஒரு சுவாரஸ்யமான சமாச்சாரம். அப்போது மணியர் கேட்டால் குகுனான கட்டத்துக்கா தகச்சாரி கேட்டதுக்கா எப்படி வருதுன்னு கேட்டார். குகுனா எப்படி போடுறேன்னு கேட்டார். தும் தும் நான் அப்படின்னு. அந்த தொந்தும் நன்னாங் கிட்டத்தக்கதான் தொம் குமுக்கி. குமுக்கிங்கிறது அழகு பண்ணுறது. இதை ஆக்சுவலி இதை கண்டுபிடிச்சி இதை சரி பண்ணி அகாடமியில் மியூசிக் அகாடமியில் சதஸில் வெற்றி பண்ணார்.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் சார். ரொம்ப சுவாரஸ்யமா இருந்தது சார். இன்னொரு சின்ன கேள்வி. You are an exponent of Ghatam, a genius if you will. What attracted you to this unusual musical instrument which is so fragile yet tough? Sir, கட்டத்தில் நீங்க மகாவித்வான். சிறு வயதிலிருந்தே நீங்க கட்டத்தை வாசிட்டு வர. இந்த வாத்தியத்தில் இப்படி ஈடுபாடு வந்தது உங்களுக்கு? இப்படி ஆசை வந்தது உங்களுக்கு?
இது எனக்கு எங்கள் அப்பா தான் இதை கிரியேட் பண்ணார் இந்த இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்டை. ஏன்னா இந்த வாத்தியம் பழைய காலத்தில் ரொம்ப தனியாக உபரியாக இருந்து இதை மெயினாக கொண்டு வரணும், அதனால் நீ இதை வாசி அப்படின்னு சொல்லி என்னை கம்பல் பண்ணி, அந்த காலத்தில் ரவிசங்கர் எப்படி சித்தாரில் வந்தாரோ அதை மாதிரி கடத்துக்கு நீ வரணும் அவர் ஆசைப்பட்டார். அது பார்த்துட்டு தான் அவர் போனார். அதனால தான் என்னை கடத்தில் இது பண்ணேன். அதோட குடும்ப சூழ்நிலைக்காக கடமும் பண்ணேன். இது பண்ணேன்.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் சார். இன்னொரு சின்ன கேள்வி. How do you think the Ghatam is unique in its own way and how difficult is it to handle? கட்டமோட தனித்துவம் என்னன்னு கொஞ்சம் எடுத்து சொல்றீங்களா?
கடத்தோட தனித்துவம்னா கடத்தில் ஒரு 3 சவுண்டு தான் வரும். பாட்டமில் ஒரு சவுண்டு, சென்டரில் ஒரு சவுண்டு, டாப்பில். இதில் வச்சு தான் பர்மிட்டேஷன் காம்பினேஷன் பண்ணி வாசிக்கிறோம். இதில் மனசில் என்ன நினைக்கிறோமோ அதை அப்படியே வரும். அது மனசுக்கும் கடத்துக்கும் தொடர்பு உண்டு. அதுதான் இதில் முக்கிய தனித்துவம். இதில் இப்போ மற்ற இன்ஸ்ட்ருமெண்ட்லாம் நினச்சபடி வாசிக்க முடியாது. இந்த கடத்தோட இது என்ன நினைக்கிறோமோ அது அப்படியே வரும்.
Thank you, Pranav. Now, after every question, Jyotsna is going to translate it from Tamil to English. So you have to wait for that, Pranav. And to all the students, please remember that. Thank you, Jyotsna. Could you please go ahead?
Namaskaram, sir. நான் தமிழ்ல நீங்க ஆன்சர் பண்ணதை I'll be translating it to English. So, Pranav, could you please repeat your first question?
You are an exponent of Ghatam, a genius if you will. What attracted you to this unusual musical instrument which is so fragile yet tough?
Okay, so for this question, sir has told that his father was the one who created this instrument, and because of that he was initiated into this wonderful instrument Ghatam. And just like how Ravi Shankar sir is for sitar, his father wanted Vikku Vinayagam Ram sir to be for Ghatam. So that's how he was initiated into this wonderful instrument. So moving on to the next question, Pranav, could you please?
How do you think the Ghatam is unique in its own way, and how difficult is it to handle?
So for this question, sir has told that in spite of it having only 3 major sounds, you can sort of play whatever you want in Ghatam, unlike other instruments. So this was the answer sir told. Thank you, Pranav. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Thank you, sir. Mikka nandri. Over to you, Sankhya, for the next question.
Sir, you have shared the stage with other prominent artists like Ustad Zakir Hussain. My question is, we would like to know who has been your most inspiring challenger and why do you love to play with him or her? Vanakkam sir, என் பேர் சங்கியா. நீங்க பல சிறந்த இசைக்கலைஞர்களுடன் மேடையை பகிர்ந்து கொண்டுள்ளீங்க. உதாரணத்திற்கு இசைக்கலைஞர் திரு உஸ்தாத் ஜாக்கிர் ஹுசேன் அவர்கள். நான் உங்களிடம் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்க விரும்புகிறேன் சார். உங்களை மிகவும் கவர்ந்த இசைக்கலைஞர் யார் மற்றும் அவர்களோட ஏன் அந்த மேடையை பகிர்ந்து கொள்ள விரும்புறீங்க சார்?
என்ன புரியல எனக்கு.
மறுபடியும் சொல்றேன் சார். உங்களை மிகவும்
நிறைய பேரோட வாட்சிருக்கேன். ஆனால் இதில் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டாக ஒருத்தரை பிடிச்சது நம்ம சொல்ல முடியாது. ஆனால் ஆத்மார்த்தமாக ஒன்று இருக்குன்னா ஜாகீரோட வாசிக்கிறது தான் எனக்கு ஆத்மா. ஏன்னா நாங்கள் 2 பேரும் ஆர்டிஸ்ட் மாதிரி பழக மாட்டோம், பிரதர்ஸ் மாதிரி பழகினதுனால தான் மனசு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் அவளுக்கு.
So I'll be translating it now. So Sir has told that he has shared the stage with many popular Vidwans and Vidushis, but Zakir Sir is one of his favorites because they don't share the stage as artists, they rather share the stage as brothers. So Sir says that Zakir Sir is his favorite artist.
உங்க பதிலுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி sir. Thank you for the answer, sir. We can now have questions from students in Australia. Over to you, Uday.
Vanakkam Guruji. My name is Uday and I'm from Australia and I'm in grade 5. I have seen you play Gatam with so much passion. I have seen you play Gatam with so much passion. Don't your hands and fingers hurt after a long session of playing? Do you massage your hands once in a while?
சார் நமஸ்காரம் சார். நான் அவன் கேட்ட கொஸ்டினை நான் உங்களுக்கு தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன். ஸோ மாணவன் பேரு உதய் சார். ஸோ அவன் சிறு வயதிலிருந்து உங்கள் வாத்திய இசையை கேட்டுக்கொண்டு வந்துள்ளான். ஸோ நீங்கள் கடத்தை வாசித்த பின் உங்கள் விரல்கள் சோர்வடைந்து விடுமா? சோர்வாக இருந்தால் அதற்கு நீங்கள் எடுக்கும் செயல்முறைகள் யாவை என்று கேட்கிறான் சார்.
கை விரல் சோர்வாகாது, பெயின் வரும். அதாவது ஒவ்வொரு விரலும் வாசிக்கிட்ட வின்டர் சீசனில் குளிர் காலத்தில் கையெல்லாம் வெடிக்கும் பாலமாக, அப்போ பிளாஸ்டர் போட்டுட்டு வாசிப்பேன். வேறு சோர்வுங்கிறது வாசிக்கிறதுலையே இது கிடையாது.
So translating that, Uday sir tells that there is no tiredness, but he rather feels pain, and especially during the winter, the skin dries up. So during the winter, he wears a plaster and plays. So this is what sir told.
Thank you.
So இப்போ நான் vote of thanks கொடுக்க போறேன். I will be giving the vote of thanks. வித்வான் ஸ்ரீ விக்கு நாயக்கராம் சார், நீங்க இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில கலந்து கொண்டு உங்களோட அனுபவத்தை பகிர்ந்ததற்கு நான் எல்லோரும் சார்பாக நன்றி தெரிவிக்க விரும்புகிறேன்.
என்னுடைய ஆசீர்வாதம்.
We also thank the team of young enthusiasts at SPIC MACAY and Global Indian International School for organizing this event. Thank you all. Namaskaram. Nandri. Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.
Over to you, Tapasya.
Yes, I will let Kunda ma'am say a note of thanks first, and I'll then conclude with a thanking note. If you could turn on Kunda ma'am's camera. Thank you.
Yeah, Tapasya, my camera is off actually. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Can you turn on your camera?
Yes. Hello.
You're on, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes,
ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, you are all good to go. Thank you.
I'm Mrs. Kunda Mahurkar. On behalf of SPIC MACAY, I take this opportunity to thank GIIS Group of Industries. They are the sponsors for Global Heritage Series. I thank them for sponsoring this program. We are very, very grateful to you, GIIS Group of Industries. our chief guest, Honorable Harshvardhan Singla, Foreign Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, has kindly agreed to be the chief guest and sent his video recorded message to inspire our youth for the program. Then we have guest of honor, special guest, Ambassador Australia, Gitesh Sharma ji. We are very grateful to you, sir, for giving your video recorded message for this program. Now, I would like to thank our artists, very eminent artists who have spared their time and inspired our youth through their art forms. Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji, he is a very, very renowned artist and inspires the youth. Anytime he has program, he always agrees to give program for our youth. Then Ustad F. Wasiduddin Dagarji, he is always with us. Thank you, sir, for giving your precious time. Vidushi Madhavi Mudgalji, such a beautiful dancer, and her performance was so inspiring, and everybody was so appreciative about her performance and her interaction with the students. Thank you, madam. We are very, very grateful to you. Then Vidwan Viku Vinayak Ramji, your performance was so beautiful and your presence only was so inspiring that our youth was very, very happy to listen to your program. Thank you so much, Viku Vinayak Ramji. Then I must thank our sponsor, the chairman of and partner of GIIS, Mr. Atul Temburnikar and Mrs. Aparna Temburnikar. Then director, Ms. Sarita Alurkar from GIIS, Ms. Melissa Maria, principal GIIS Singapore, Ms. Madhu Khanna, principal GIIS Japan, teachers and staff of GIIS Japan and Singapore. They were very, very supportive and their help made this program a great success. Then in SPIC MACAY, Dr. Kiran said he's always very, very inspiring and always stands with behind us for any program. Sir, we are very, very grateful to you for giving us so much support since so many years. Thank you, sir. Then we got the help for organizing these programs from Miss Rashmi Malik, Mr. Pankaj Malhotra, and Miss Saraswati Subbu, and Tapasya, of course, and Astha. They are always there to help us, and they take lot of trouble anytime, any program, they come forward to help us. Thank you so much. Then in our SPIC MACAY, the IT team is very, very important for such programs. Design and media team are always there to help us. Because of them, we could do so much of publicity for this program. Thank you, media team and IT team. Then volunteers from SPIC MACAY Europe chapter, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Japan chapter, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Singapore chapter, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Australia chapter. They all were very helpful. Thank you very much, all of you. God bless you, and we will always be with you. You will be always with us. So let us work together always and make every program a great success. Now, my special thanks to Tapasya, who made this happen, and she is very, very enthusiastic. Globally, she works very hard. Thank you, Tapasya. All the best to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kunda ma'am. Thank you for a wonderful note of thanks. And I will just say the concluding note after this. As we conclude with the very first SPIC MACAY APAC Global Heritage Series, we wish to be back soon with many, many such programs and reach out to every student. SPIC MACAY APAC chapter would also want to express its gratitude to its supporters and volunteers for making Global Heritage Series a success. A very special thanks to our sponsors, GIIS Group of Institute, who extended support to SPIC MACAY in every possible manner. Atul and Apurna Timurkarji, and Miss Melissa Maria, Principal of GIIS Singapore, Miss Madhu Khannaji, Principal GIIS Japan, teachers and students of GIS, Japan and Singapore. Without them, this program would not have been possible. Also, the Student Brigade from Australia chapter. I would also want to thank our chief guest, Honorable Harshvardhan Shringlaji, Foreign Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, our special guest, Ambassador Gitesh Sharmaji, Australian High Commission. I would also want to thank the members of the National Executive Team who have worked silently behind the curtain with absolute Nishkam Seva Bhav. Dr. Kiran Seth, our founder, Ms. Kunda Mahurkar, our National Chairperson, SPIC MACAY, Ms. Rashmi Malik, Ms. Pankaj Malhotra, Ms. Saraswati Subbu, last but not the least, SPIC MACAY IT Design Media Team, Chetan and Nilesh from Europe team, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Europe team, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Japan chapter, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Singapore chapter, volunteers from SPIC MACAY Australia chapter. Thank you everyone for coming together for this wonderful Global Heritage Series. Hope to see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.